Florida is in crisis. The state is facing one of the most severe wildfire seasons in recent memory, with flames threatening both people and nature on an unprecedented scale. Wildfires are raging across the state, fueled by relentless heat and dry conditions that have left the land dangerously vulnerable. The fires are spreading rapidly through parched forests and grasslands, devouring everything in their path and leaving behind a trail of destruction. Firefighters are battling around the clock, risking their lives to contain the flames. But the danger to people, wildlife, and property is immense, and the fight is far from easy. Thick smoke chokes the air, making it difficult to breathe and disrupting daily life. Roads are closed, schools are shut down, and entire neighborhoods are being evacuated as the fires draw closer. The fires have already consumed thousands of acres, destroying unique habitats and forcing countless animals to flee for their lives. The loss to Florida's rich biodiversity is staggering. Drought has turned the landscape into a tinderbox. Just one spark can ignite disaster. With each passing day without rain, the risk only grows. Communities near the fires live in constant fear, their routines upended and their homes at risk. Families are packing up their belongings, unsure if they'll have a home to return to. The emotional toll is heavy as residents watch flames creep closer. Anxiety and uncertainty hang in the air as people wait for updates and hope for the best. Everyone is desperate for rain, hoping for relief from this relentless threat. Each cloud in the sky brings a glimmer of hope, but so far, the drought continues. This isn't just a local problem. The nation is watching as Florida faces a dangerous cycle of drought and fire. The story is making headlines across the country, drawing attention to the urgent need for solutions. A long dry spell has created perfect wildfire conditions, and strong winds are pushing flames at alarming speeds. Firefighters are struggling to keep up as the situation changes by the hour. The state is caught in a critical period where every hour matters. Emergency crews coordinate non-stop, knowing that any delay could mean more devastation. The hope for rain is more than a forecast. It's a lifeline for thousands. A single downpour could slow the fires and give exhausted crews a fighting chance. The fires are a stark reminder of our environment's vulnerability. They show how quickly things can change, and how much is at stake when nature is pushed to its limits. All eyes are on the skies, waiting for any sign of relief. Communities, firefighters, and wildlife alike are united in hope for rain and an end to this disaster. The urgency of this crisis cannot be overstated. Every moment counts as Florida faces one of its greatest environmental challenges. Florida's battle with wildfire is far from over. The coming days will test the resilience of its people, its wildlife, and its land. The scale of destruction is staggering. From the sky, the once vibrant landscape now appears as a patchwork of blackened earth and smoldering remains, a stark reminder of nature's power and vulnerability. Entire stretches of wilderness have been reduced to ash. The fire's path is unmistakable, scars that cut through forests, grasslands, and wetlands alike. Charred trees stand like skeletons, and the ground is stripped bare, unable to support life for the foreseeable future. The national fire in the Everglades has already burned over 24,000 acres, transforming a lush ecosystem into a wasteland almost overnight. In Big Cypress National Preserve, another fire has consumed more than 25,000 acres, leaving behind a stark contrast between untouched green and scorched black. Combined, that's over 50,000 acres, an area larger than many cities, lost to flames. To put it in perspective, that's more land than the entire city of Miami. These aren't empty lands, they're vital ecosystems supporting diverse wildlife. Countless animals have been forced to flee, while others have perished or lost their habitats. The loss is a devastating blow to Florida's natural heritage. Wetlands, forests, and prairies that took centuries to develop have been erased in days. Firefighting is a massive, costly operation, with crews from across the state and beyond using helicopters and bulldozers to fight the flames. Every hour, resources are poured into containing the inferno, but the battle is relentless. Smoke has triggered air quality alerts, affecting transportation, tourism, and daily life for thousands. Schools have closed, flights have been delayed, and outdoor activities have come to a halt. Imagine 50,000 football fields side by side. That's the scale of the devastation. The sheer size is almost impossible to comprehend. The landscape is left charred and barren, and recovery will be slow depending on future weather. Rain may help, but it will take years for the land to heal. The immediate threat is the fire, but the long-term consequences will linger for years. Soil erosion, water contamination, and invasive species are just some of the challenges ahead. Resources are stretched thin as the fight continues. Firefighters and emergency crews are working around the clock, often at great personal risk. The impact ripples far beyond the burn zone. local businesses suffer, tourism declines, and communities are left to pick up the pieces. The fires have changed the region's future in ways we're only beginning to understand. Recovery will require not just time, but also innovation and resilience. This is not just an environmental crisis, it's a challenge to the state's resilience. Communities must come together to rebuild and adapt. The damage will shape Florida for decades, leaving a legacy that will be felt by generations to come. What's fueling these massive fires? The answer is drought, an invisible force that's tightening its grip across Florida and much of the Southeast. It's not just a lack of rain, it's a relentless drying out of the land day after day. Most of the Southeast is abnormally dry, with some areas in exceptional drought, the worst category. Florida, in particular, is facing some of the harshest conditions seen in years, with drought maps lighting up in deep shades of red and orange. Months without rain have left the ground and vegetation dangerously dry. The soil cracks open, grass turns brittle, and plants wilt under the relentless sun, unable to recover. Strong winds have fanned the flames, spreading embers over roads and rivers. Gusts can carry sparks for miles, igniting new fires in an instant and making containment nearly impossible. Low humidity dries out fuels even more, making ignition almost effortless. When the air itself is thirsty, every blade of grass and fallen branch becomes a potential torch. Florida's landscape is like dry kindling, ready to burn at the slightest spark. Pine needles, dead leaves, and underbrush all add to the tinderbox conditions. This year's dry season is worse than usual, pushing the ecosystem out of balance. Wetlands that should be teeming with life are now cracked and barren, and wildlife struggles to find water. The natural cycle has been disrupted, leaving the state extremely vulnerable. Rivers and swamps are drying up, exposing roots and leaving habitats exposed to fire. Every day without rain increases the risk, adding more fuel for future fires. The longer the drought lasts, the more dangerous the situation becomes, as dead vegetation piles up. The combination of drought, wind, and low humidity has created a perfect storm. These conditions feed off each other, making wildfires more intense and unpredictable. This isn't new for Florida, but the severity is unprecedented. Past wildfires pale in comparison to the scale and speed of today's blazes, fueled by record-breaking dryness. The dry season is always risky, but this year the danger is off the charts. Firefighters are on high alert, and communities are bracing for the worst. The state is on edge, waiting for relief. Residents watch the horizon anxiously, hoping for rain that never seems to come. Without rain, the crisis will only deepen, and the threat of wildfire will continue to grow with each passing day. There's finally hope. A storm system is headed for the southeast, bringing much-needed rain. Meteorologists are tracking it closely, and for firefighters and residents, it's a potential lifeline. The rain is expected to arrive from Friday night into Saturday, targeting the hardest-hit areas. This could be the first real break in weeks. Forecasts predict up to 1.5 inches of rain across a wide area, enough to make a real difference. The storm's timing is crucial, offering a window for firefighters to gain control. This classic weather pattern is arriving just in time. The system will sweep across the peninsula, soaking the regions most in need. All eyes are on the radar, hoping the rain delivers on its promise. Relief is finally within reach. Rain is nature's best firefighter. It cools burning embers and hot ground, lowering temperatures below ignition points. Wet fuel, grass, leaves, brush becomes much harder to burn, slowing the fire's advance. Higher humidity makes it even tougher for new fires to start or spread. Even light rain or increased moisture in the air helps dampen fine fuels like dead grass and pine needles. Rain also clears the air, washing away smoke and improving air quality. It knocks down lingering embers and hotspots, reducing the risk of flare-ups. For firefighters, rain buys precious time to build containment lines. The combined effect cooler flames, wetter fuels, and safer conditions for everyone. Rain doesn't just fight fire, it helps reset the landscape. The coming downpour could be a turning point. Every drop counts in this battle. Nature is finally lending a hand. As welcome as this rain is, it's not a cure-all. Experts warn it's only a temporary fix, a pause, not a solution. The ground is like a dry sponge. The first rain gets soaked up fast, but deep soil remains parched. One storm can't erase months of drought or replenish groundwater. Once the sun returns, fine fuels can dry out in just days, and fire risk will rise again. The rain will help firefighters gain control, but the underlying drought persists. This is a window of opportunity, not the end of the crisis. Fire agencies will use this time to strengthen containment, but vigilance is still needed. The fight against wildfires is far from over. Only consistent, widespread rain can truly break the drought. For now, we must stay alert. The storm will hit the Florida peninsula hardest, with rain starting Friday night and lasting through Saturday. Orlando, Tampa, and areas north will see showers and thunderstorms first. The heaviest rain is forecast for south-central and southeastern Florida, right where the major fires are burning. Saturday brings the potential for heavy downpours from Melbourne to Miami, directly over the fire zones. This targeted rainfall could be a game-changer for firefighting efforts. Some areas may see over 1.5 inches, helping to extinguish stubborn flames. The Panhandle and far north will get lighter showers, so fire danger there may rebound quickly. The focus is on the central and southern peninsula, aligning with the most critical wildfires. This storm's path is a stroke of luck for the hardest-hit regions. Relief is coming where it's needed most. After the rain, high pressure will build over the region, bringing drier, warmer weather. This means the relief will be short-lived. Sun and heat will quickly dry out the landscape. Limited chances for more rain are expected next week. As temperatures climb, evaporation will accelerate, and fire danger will rise again. The moisture from this storm will fade fast, especially in fine fuels. Long-term drought relief requires a shift in weather patterns, not just one storm. Fire managers will be watching conditions closely, ready for renewed risk. The public must remain vigilant. This isn't over. This weekend's rain is a reset, not a resolution. Florida's wildfire battle continues. This weekend's rain is a desperately needed break for Florida. It will help firefighters cool the flames and clear the air, especially in the hardest-hit southern regions. The downpour will halt the fire's advance and bring relief to exhausted communities. But this is only a temporary reprieve. Months of drought can't be erased in a single storm. High pressure and dry weather will return, and the risk of fire will rise again. We've been given a brief window to regroup and strengthen defenses. The key message: be grateful, but stay cautious. This rain will save habitats and buy time, but the fight isn't over. Wildfire season is a marathon, not a sprint. The finish line, ending the drought, is still far away. We must remain vigilant and hope for more rain in the weeks ahead. Florida's resilience will be tested, but every drop of rain helps.